Beloved child. There are moments that seem ordinary while they are happening, yet they quietly become the turning point of an entire story. Last night was one of those moments. If you found this message today, do not rush away. Do not skip. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. Every sentence in this story connects to the title you came here for, and as each moment unfolds, you will understand why last night became unforgettable. Your special person never expected a simple evening at home to become the beginning of a conversation that would remain in their heart forever. Nothing unusual appeared on the surface. The house was calm, the evening was peaceful, and everyone believed it would be another ordinary night. But hidden beneath that quiet atmosphere was a conversation waiting to happen, a conversation that neither your special person nor their sister saw coming. The evening began with silence. Your special person sat quietly, lost in thought, carrying emotions they had hidden for a very long time. They answered questions with short replies. They smiled whenever someone looked at them, but the smile disappeared the moment they were alone. Their sister noticed every small detail. She noticed the distant eyes. She noticed the thoughtful pauses. She noticed that something was different. At first, she decided not to ask. She believed they simply needed a little time. But as the evening continued, the silence became impossible to ignore. Finally, she walked over, sat beside your special person, and gently asked a question so simple that nobody could have imagined it would unlock everything hidden inside. Is there something you haven't been telling anyone? Those few words changed the entire night. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. For several long moments, your special person said absolutely nothing. The room became completely quiet. Even the smallest sound suddenly felt louder than before. Their sister did not interrupt. She simply waited with patience. Sometimes the greatest conversations begin not with answers, but with silence. Finally, after taking a deep breath, your special person admitted that their heart had been carrying thoughts they could no longer ignore. They confessed that no matter how much they tried to move forward, one connection refused to disappear from their heart. Certain memories continued returning without warning. Certain hopes continued appearing even when they tried to forget them. It was as though life kept gently reminding them that some stories are never truly finished. Hearing these honest words, their sister did not react with surprise. Instead, she smiled softly, almost as if she had expected this confession long before it was spoken. That unexpected smile caught your special person completely off guard. They had expected questions. They had expected confusion. Instead, they received understanding. Their sister quietly explained that sometimes the heart continues holding onto something because it recognizes value before the mind is ready to accept it. She reminded your special person that not every delay means an ending. Sometimes life creates distance only so people can grow into the versions of themselves they were always meant to become. Those words settled deeply inside your special person's heart. Suddenly, memories that once brought uncertainty began carrying an entirely different meaning. Events that had seemed random started fitting together like pieces of a much larger picture. The more they reflected, the more they realized that perhaps nothing had happened by accident after all. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The conversation continued, becoming deeper with every passing minute. Their sister began reminding them of small moments they had almost forgotten, little conversations, unexpected coincidences, meaningful encounters, and quiet signs that had seemed ordinary at the time. One by one, those forgotten memories returned. Each memory carried an emotion. Each emotion carried a question. And each question quietly pointed toward the same possibility. Your special person listened without interrupting. They were no longer trying to defend their feelings. They were finally allowing themselves to experience them honestly. For the first time in a long while, the confusion inside their heart began giving way to clarity. They realized that they had spent so much time questioning every feeling that they had forgotten to trust the quiet peace that always returned whenever those memories appeared. Their sister then leaned forward and asked another unexpected question. If tomorrow gave you one opportunity to change one thing, what would you choose? Once again, silence filled the room. Your special person looked toward the window as if searching for the answer somewhere beyond the night sky. The answer did not come quickly. It arrived slowly, carried by honesty instead of fear. At last, they admitted that if they had the chance, they would stop hiding what truly mattered to them. They would stop pretending certain feelings had disappeared when, in reality, they had only become stronger with time. Saying those words out loud brought an incredible sense of relief. It felt as though a heavy weight they had carried for months had quietly lifted from their shoulders. Their sister simply nodded, not because she was surprised, but because she already knew the truth long before that moment arrived. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the night grew later, the conversation became even more meaningful. The two siblings began reflecting on the unexpected ways life changes people. They spoke about patience. They spoke about timing. They spoke about how many wonderful moments almost never happen because people give up just before everything begins to make sense. Their sister shared stories of opportunities that arrived later than expected but proved more meaningful because of the wait. She explained that sometimes answers take longer than questions, but that does not make them any less real. Those words remained in your special person's mind. Every sentence seemed to replace worry with quiet confidence. Every thought reminded them that not all delays are disappointments. Sometimes they are preparation. Your special person suddenly remembered a series of small moments that had once seemed completely unrelated. A familiar song heard at an unexpected time. A meaningful memory returning without explanation. A feeling that appeared for no reason at all. Until that night, each of those moments had been dismissed as coincidence. But now, sitting beside their sister, they wondered whether those moments had been quietly encouraging them to keep believing all along. It was a realization that completely changed the atmosphere. The room felt brighter. Their expression softened. Their heart felt lighter than it had in a very long time. Their sister noticed the change immediately. Without saying another word, she smiled again, knowing that sometimes people discover their own answers simply by being given the space to think honestly. Outside, the night remained peaceful. Nothing dramatic happened beyond those walls. There were no loud interruptions. No extraordinary events. Yet inside that quiet home, something remarkable had taken place. A conversation had transformed uncertainty into hope. Doubt into confidence. Silence into understanding. Your special person realized that they had spent far too long believing they were carrying their thoughts alone. Yet one honest conversation proved otherwise. Sometimes healing begins the moment someone truly listens. Sometimes clarity begins the moment someone asks the right question. Last night became proof that even the simplest conversations can quietly reshape tomorrow. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Before saying goodnight, their sister spoke one final sentence that stayed in your special person's heart long after the conversation ended. She gently said, "Never mistake a delayed chapter for the end of the story." Those words echoed through every thought that followed. As your special person prepared to sleep, they no longer felt trapped by uncertainty. Instead, they carried something much more powerful: hope. Not loud hope. Not unrealistic hope. Quiet hope. Steady hope. The kind of hope that grows stronger every single day without asking for attention. It was a completely different feeling from the one they had carried only a few hours earlier. As morning slowly approached, your special person looked back on everything that had been said. They realized that last night's unexpected conversation with their sister had changed far more than their mood. It had changed the way they viewed the future itself. Questions that once felt impossible no longer seemed frightening. Possibilities that once felt distant suddenly appeared closer than ever before. The night had ended, but the story had only just begun. And somewhere ahead, beyond everything they currently understood, another chapter was quietly waiting to unfold. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you, because last night was not the ending anyone expected. It was the beginning of a story that neither your special person nor their sister will ever forget, and the next chapter may become even more surprising than the first. A quiet morning arrived, but nothing inside your special person felt the same anymore. The conversation from the previous night continued echoing through every thought, every memory, and every hope they had been carrying for so long. They woke earlier than usual, not because of an alarm, but because their mind refused to let go of everything their sister had shared. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. What happened next was even more unexpected than the conversation itself. As the first light entered the room, your special person replayed every sentence in their mind. They remembered the calm expression on their sister's face, the reassuring words, and the gentle reminder that some stories take longer because they are meant to become stronger. Suddenly, something that had once seemed confusing began making perfect sense. Instead of asking, "Why has this taken so long?" they quietly began asking, "What has this time been preparing me for?" That single change in perspective transformed everything. The weight they had carried for so long slowly began disappearing. A few minutes later, they walked into the kitchen where their sister was already awake. Neither of them spoke immediately. Sometimes the strongest conversations do not begin with words. Sometimes they begin with understanding. Their sister looked up, smiled warmly, and instantly realized something had changed. She could see it without asking. Your special person's eyes no longer carried the same uncertainty they had carried the night before. There was calmness where worry had once lived. There was confidence where hesitation had once remained hidden. Then their sister quietly said something completely unexpected. "I've been thinking about our conversation all night." Those words stopped your special person in their tracks. They listened carefully. "I believe yesterday wasn't a coincidence," she continued. "Sometimes the heart waits until the exact right moment before revealing what it has been protecting all along." Those words settled deeply. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Your special person felt as though every small event from the past had suddenly become connected. Conversations they had forgotten. Memories they believed no longer mattered, little moments that once appeared ordinary, everything seemed to fit together like pieces of a beautiful puzzle that had been incomplete for far too long. Their sister gently reminded them of something remarkable. She recalled a day from months ago when your special person had smiled without realizing why after hearing a familiar name mentioned in passing. At the time, everyone ignored that moment. But now it suddenly felt meaningful. She remembered another occasion when your special person became unusually quiet after seeing an old photograph. Once again, nobody questioned it. Yet looking back, those quiet reactions revealed feelings that had never truly disappeared. Your special person could hardly believe it. Someone else had noticed these tiny moments long before they had admitted the truth to themselves. That realization filled the room with a peaceful silence. For the first time in a very long while, they no longer felt misunderstood. Instead, they felt seen. They felt heard. And most importantly, they felt hopeful. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Their sister then leaned closer and shared one final thought that completely transformed the morning. Never underestimate what quiet patience can build. Those simple words carried extraordinary meaning. Your special person realized that while they had been worrying about what had not happened yet, life had quietly been shaping them into someone stronger, wiser, calmer, and more prepared than ever before. Every delay had taught them something valuable. Every unanswered question had developed patience. Every uncertain moment had strengthened their ability to appreciate what truly mattered. The morning no longer felt ordinary. It felt like the beginning of an entirely new chapter. As they looked out through the window, they noticed how peaceful everything appeared. Nothing outside had changed overnight, yet everything inside had. The greatest transformation is often invisible. It begins quietly. It grows patiently. And one day, without warning, it changes everything. Your special person smiled naturally for the first time in what felt like forever. Not because every answer had arrived, but because they no longer feared the unanswered questions. Hope had replaced doubt. Peace had replaced confusion. Confidence had replaced hesitation. Before leaving the room, their sister looked back one last time and quietly said, "Remember this morning. One day you'll realize it was the moment everything truly began." Those words remained in your special person's heart for the rest of the day. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because the unexpected conversation that began last night has now become the first step toward a story that is growing stronger with every passing moment, and what comes next may reveal an even greater surprise than either of them could have imagined. The day continued, but your special person could not stop thinking about everything that had unfolded between them and their sister. It was as if every ordinary moment carried a hidden reminder of the conversation that had changed their perspective forever. Even while completing simple daily tasks, their mind kept returning to the same realization: sometimes the most life-changing answers arrive through the people who know us best. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The next part of this story became even more unexpected, because what happened later that day made your special person believe that the previous night's conversation was only the beginning of something much greater. As the afternoon passed, your special person walked into a quiet room searching for nothing more than a little peace. They sat beside a window, watching the sunlight slowly move across the floor. The silence felt different now. Only a day earlier, silence had been filled with uncertainty. Now it carried hope. Their sister's words continued echoing in their heart, especially one sentence they could not forget: "Some answers arrive only after your heart becomes ready to receive them." The more they thought about those words, the more everything from the past seemed to connect in ways they had never noticed before. Small conversations, forgotten memories, unexpected smiles, and moments that once seemed meaningless suddenly appeared to belong to the same story. Just then, their sister quietly entered the room again. She wasn't carrying advice this time. She simply sat beside your special person without saying a word. That peaceful silence became one of the strongest moments of the entire day. Sometimes the greatest comfort comes from someone who understands that words are not always necessary. After several quiet moments, she looked outside and softly said, "Do you notice how the light changes without making any noise? Real change often happens the same way." Those simple words settled deeply inside your special person's heart. They realized that while they had been waiting for one dramatic moment to change everything, countless small moments had already been transforming them little by little. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As the conversation continued, their sister shared something she had never told anyone before. She admitted that for a long time she had quietly watched your special person carrying questions they never spoke aloud. She had noticed the thoughtful expressions, the moments of quiet reflection, and the gentle smile that appeared whenever certain memories returned. She had never wanted to interfere because she believed every heart deserves time to discover its own truth. But after what happened last night, she finally understood that the time for silence had ended. It was time to replace uncertainty with encouragement. Those words completely surprised your special person. They had believed nobody noticed the emotions they worked so hard to hide. Yet here was someone who had quietly understood them all along. That realization brought an incredible sense of peace. They no longer felt alone with their thoughts. They no longer felt misunderstood. Instead, they felt deeply seen. For the first time in a very long while, they stopped asking whether their feelings made sense and started accepting that honest feelings do not need permission to exist. Their sister smiled gently, knowing that this quiet breakthrough was far more valuable than any quick answer could ever be. The afternoon slowly became evening, but the story was far from over. Before leaving the room, their sister stopped at the doorway and turned back with a thoughtful expression. She said something so unexpected that your special person would remember it for years. One day you'll look back at last night and realize it wasn't just a conversation between siblings. It was the moment your future quietly changed direction. Those words sent a wave of emotion through the room. Your special person stood completely still, allowing every word to settle inside their heart. Somehow, those simple sentences carried more hope than anything they had heard in a very long time. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. As evening arrived, your special person began noticing little details they had ignored for months. They realized how often fear had prevented them from appreciating the quiet blessings already surrounding them. They recognized that patience had been preparing them rather than delaying them. They understood that not every meaningful journey begins with excitement. Sometimes it begins with a single honest conversation, a caring sister, a peaceful evening, and the courage to finally admit what the heart has known all along. Last night had not changed the world around them, but it had completely transformed the world within them. Standing beneath the calm evening sky, your special person took a slow breath and smiled naturally. It was not the smile of someone who had all the answers. It was the smile of someone who had finally stopped fearing the questions. Their heart felt lighter. Their thoughts felt clearer. Their future no longer seemed uncertain, it felt full of quiet possibility. And somewhere deep inside, they sensed that the unexpected conversation with their sister had set something beautiful into motion, something that would continue unfolding one step at a time. Do not skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Because what your special person discovered after that unforgettable night was not simply hope, it was the beginning of a completely new chapter, one where every past moment finally began making sense. And as this story continues, an even more surprising revelation is waiting just ahead, ready to connect every piece of this unforgettable journey in a way no one could have imagined.